Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Draconum Blade. And Draconum Blade writes to ask if I think it is possible for science and religion to coexist. And he cites pressures from his family to give up religious ideas in favor of scientific ideas as being the reason for his asking. And my answer to this is that for many people, science and religion do coexist. I'm, generally speaking, a great believer in science, but I'm also a great believer in religion. And I'm certainly not the only one. Many people from many different religions, including Christians and Hindus and Jews, also believe strongly in science, as well as many pagans. And even many leading scientists have spiritual beliefs, and every now and then you'll read an article about one of them, and it's always cited as if it's a great shocking thing, but it really ought not to be. And throughout the last couple of hundred years, as science has advanced rapidly, very often people who have been advancing it have been great believers in theism, that is to say in religion, but also great believers in science. And you know, the great conundrum that you so often hear trumpeted all over society today is creation versus evolution. But many people have considered evolution to be merely the vehicle of creation, including some of the people who were first on the scene putting forward the idea of evolution. So I see no reason at all that they should necessarily conflict, and for many people they don't. However, for some people they do, because in some cases, the religion in question is atheism, which is just as much a religion as any other and often just as intolerant. I think one mistake that people make in discussing the relationship between science and religion is that they mistake people on the fringes for representing the attitudes of most people. And there's certainly a very vocal fringe on the conservative end of religion and also on the extreme end of atheism who are utterly opposed to these two things ever crossing. But there are a lot of people in the middle who have no difficulty with it whatsoever. And I think that the fight between the extremes is often used as a red herring to distract from other things. And I think if people would stop listening to the extremes, they would find that there's actually a middle ground that most people are already in. And I have to tell you, I used to think that the perception of a fight between science and religion was coming from intolerant followers of religion. But I've come to believe that it has just as much to do with intolerant followers of atheism, and that both sides are equally to blame and equally unwilling to find any kind of middle ground. But again, I think that most people are already on the middle ground. So, if you want to see intolerance from both religious people and atheist people, you need only look at the comments section of some of our older videos here at Magic TV. You will see that atheists can be just as intolerant as religious people, and religious people can be just as intolerant as atheists, and that intolerance is found in all religions. But again, I think most people are already in a happy middle ground if anyone would actually pay attention. But you know, there's not a lot of news driven by the middle ground. News is driven by extremes, and so those people who are trying to drive eyeballs, so to speak, are not really wanting to look at the middle ground. They love to look at the extremes because it shocks everybody and makes everybody look at their article or their magazine or whatever. But it doesn't change the fact that the middle ground is a much happier place, and there are usually far more people there. So these would be my thoughts on the subject. I hope that you find them interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. The Tarot of Hecate. My 100-card tarot deck, 30 years in the making, finally available to you from witchschoolstore.com. Check out a copy today.